Hello and welcome to Be Determined. My name is Gamingseizure.
And my name is C minus.
This is our fourth episode of the podcast. Our theme today will be analog horror, which is perfect given how the way I've been acting lately.
Analog horror is a genre of content that has become rather popular on the internet. It's a type of horror that draws from the aesthetics of vintage analog media and often involves videos taken on a VHS tape format.
Alright, well now that we've covered the basics, let's get on the first topic. Adaptability of analog horror. While analog horror may at first sound limited, it truly is anything but. There are countless analog stories on the internet, each one more different than the last. Analog horror has a ton of different themes, so let's talk about them.
I guess we could start off with, I guess, Finance at Freddy's.
That's like Freddy's? Alright. Yeah, I've heard a lot of like analog horror from that. Like there's some analog horror that focuses like on like the main like the actual series, like the canon series. And then
Yeah.
aren't there some that have their own like story going on, like a totally different like thing?
Yeah, there's quite a few that are like VHS themed, uh, and like recording themed. There's a lot. I'm trying to think. I think Joy of Creation was one that was VHS themed, wasn't it? Or am I?
Joy of Creation. Was that the game?
Yeah, it was the game. It was the ignited animatronics.
Yeah, yeah.
That I'm pretty sure that one was can be considered analog horror. But there's I'm trying to think. There's like a whole Five Nights at Freddy's analog horror thing too, based off of VHS tapes too. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of series that like so they take inspiration from the series and kind of make their own universe of it. Like
Yeah.
what is it? The Walton? Yeah, Walton
Yeah,
Files, right?
I was
Yeah.
about to say Walton Files. Walton Files actually is really interesting. I like it. Bro just needs to upload more often. His last upload was kind of crazy. Um, it's huge jump in quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went from like just still very poor animation. Well, not poor. I'm not gonna dog him, bro. It's like kind of like I'm trying to think stop motion almost, or like paper animation, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I know what that means. I know what that is.
Well, it jumps to actual animation now, where like you can physically see characters moving. The gore is a lot more high quality. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, there's Final Fantasy Friday's analog horror. There's Minecraft analog horror.
That is a big one.
That is big.
I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head.
I know
What do you got?
there's Don't Look at the Moon. That one's kind of like analog horror-esque.
I, I like Don't Look at the Moon. That one was creative.
Yeah, it's pretty creative. Like focusing on like hidden. A lot of like Minecraft analog horrors are like Ghost in the Machine kind of stuff, or there's like a secret
Are cool.
entity. Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of them are very generic though. Like it's always, I say that, take that with a grain of salt. When I say generic, I mean it's all Herobrine. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's a few that are really good that I like. I'm trying to think. There was one where this dude was investigating a haunted Minecraft world, and eventually he ended up in basically like a bedrock maze, and it was really cool.
hmm
Um, I'm trying to think. I think it ended with he died by like falling into a water pit that wasn't water. It was weird, but it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a lot of the Minecraft ones, but like I know like the plot, like the general story of them. Like one was pretty interesting. It was like old recordings taken like from like a Minecraft like a really old Minecraft server, right? And
Yeah.
on them there was like it was like they're being haunted by this like entity that looked to be Herobrine, but it was pretty interesting because it wasn't just Herobrine that's like weird at the server. Like they were getting weird access to like features that weren't even like available at the time, like a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah, like that. Like I like the older Minecraft. Minecraft's always had kind of a spooky like feeling. Um, let me
Yeah,
think what
I mean,
else.
like hence outside,
Yeah.
like Minecraft can get very Minecraft can get very like dark at times, like the dark weather.
Yeah.
I know one like thing that's actually quite common. Some analog cores are based off of this is having low render distance, which surrounds you with the fog, which is kind of like a Silent Hill kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, Silent Hill. But yeah, like the fog. It's a lot of like different like things that play into the game.
Yeah, I feel like Minecraft should have like there's a few good horror mod packs and stuff out there, but we definitely need more better ones. Like
Yeah,
the dwellers, like it's kind of off topic, I'm sorry, but the dwellers
yeah.
aren't scary anymore. They're not. I feel like not to dog on people, but the first few dwellers I've seen were very low quality in terms of like I guess overall model design. Like the cave dweller. Like bro's first design was I don't even know. He looked like he'd be great at basketball.
Yeah.
Um, like he was super tall and like lengthy and stuff. Like when I first saw it, that's what first came to mind.
Yeah. Like it's not much of a like intimidating design, really.
Um, yeah, it wasn't really intimidating. There is some that's like, there's one where it's like the reimagined cave dweller,
Yeah.
and it made it better. I won't lie. It made it like a little bit scarier. But once again, that fear kind of dies out once you get to late game.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, a big thing in Minecraft is the fear of the unknown, and once you get in late game, you will not be, having that anymore because you kind of discovered everything at that point. But yeah,
Yeah.
back to the analog horror. Um, Um, what else? So besides Minecraft Analog Core, there's also one. I think it was like the like some of the first Analog Core like videos that come out. Like EAS alerts, Analog Horrors, or like old TV broadcast archives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Local 58. That's a really big one. That's one of
Yeah.
like the news article. Like it was like an archive of like a news channel
Yeah.
in the middle of the
Wasn't it
night.
like it wasn't another one where it's like don't look at the moon? Like that was
Yeah,
Local
yeah.
58.
One, it might have been Local 58 because I know Local 58 they'd have the moon involved in it.
It was cool. I liked Local 58.
Yeah, Local 58 was really nice. It was a very like hallmark analog horror in a way. Like it was
Yeah.
very very classic. It used, checked all the boxes. It it uses like a lot of like old archive footage. That's like analog media, like like the textbook definition right there. Like
Yeah.
old archive footage, in the time period it was recorded in as well, like old TV, analog TV. Yeah, pretty classic stuff. Another good like EAS like old TV broadcast thing. It would be I believe Mandela Catalog. That would count as that if I'm correct.
Yeah, it started off as like a broadcast thing and then slowly
Yeah.
developed its own lore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of it is still like old like recording and archives. At least that what that I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it should still at least like count on that category given that it started there at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think what else do we have? I guess we can go off of old like TV stuff and movies. A
Mm-hmm.
movie we recently saw. Well, not recently, it's a while ago. Skinamarink.
Yeah.
Skinamarink was, I think, one of the best horror movies, like in terms of like psychological horror movies I've seen.
That I like seeing that movie, it was really jarring. There the jump scares are really harsh. You never see them coming. And like it's crazy is like even when you do see them coming, they still get you.
Yeah, like I remember there was one part. I normally don't get scared of horror movies that often, but there was one part where I literally like, like generic, your hands covering your face and I could look into your fingers.
Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to think of what part that was. I think it was the part where he was walking through the hallway. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there was a scene where he's like, I should say by the way, the entire movie there's no talk. There's very little talking,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it's very weird camera angles. So saying walking down the hallway is a very specific point,
Yeah.
as vague as it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but yeah, I think I got hit. Every jump scare got me. 10 out of 10 horror movie. I recommend you watch it.
Yeah. I believe that movie relates to analog horror, just given how it's paced and like how it acts. It's
Yeah,
very similar to a lot of analog horror series that have been made. Not to mention the time period that it takes place in.
yeah.
It would fit
I
right
think
in that period.
yeah. I would also say it's wild that it was made by a bunch of Canadian kids.
Yeah.
There was some backup behind movie studios, I think, but majority of it was just a group of Canadian kids doing a psychological horror experiment.
Yeah.
But goated movie once again. Go watch it.
Yeah. Some other analog horror like types that I should call them. I know one kind of big one is like alternate history kind of stuff. Like one that you can look at be like Monument Mythos, in
I
which
don't think I've heard of that one.
that one is pretty interesting. So the whole basis around it is the whole basis is that it's like alternate history, mostly like America. And so like
Yeah,
the main thing monuments, there are like these cryptids inside of the monuments that are put in there, they like contained by the government. It's
that's
one
kind
of
of
things.
cool.
It is pretty cool. Because I did watch a look up video on this, and so if I am correct, at one point the monster underneath the Statue of Liberty actually escaped, and I think it wreaked havoc somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I know it wreaked havoc. But besides just the monuments, a lot of other things happen, like the Suez Canal block that happened like a few years back.
Yeah,
In this universe, it was actually caused by a giant crab.
that's funny.
Yeah, it was
Was
caused
it
by.
like actually like was it like goofy or was it like did they actually make it kind of spooky?
Well, so a lot of it is contained. It's shown to the audience. Most of it is
Yeah.
shown just kind of like, I'm not sure how to describe it.
Or
Well,
is it like you don't see the monsters, but you see
you
like
don't you
the
don't see it. I know in this one it was more like a documentary of the event for the Suez Canal thing,
yeah,
because there were like diagrams of it happening. You know what I mean? So it's more like a documentary than a typical like
yeah,
found footage, or like archive that you see with
yeah,
analog horror. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, like alternate history kind of stuff. Not
yeah.
much really
Jump.
go that way, but it is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. It sounds interesting.
Hmm.
Uh, jumping, I guess, segueing, or if you want to say it, documentary type,
Yeah.
analog horrors. Um, talking about how it doesn't like show the monster. One that I really loved, actually, one of my favorite analog horrors, is Woodlands National Park. Um, it's great. It shows like you don't. It doesn't like flat out show the creature, but like there's a scene where one of the park rangers get attacked by a Wendigo, and they get attacked by a Wendigo, and you can see the Wendigo's head slowly come over the camera before it like gets stepped on.
All right. Yeah.
And there's another creature. I'm not gonna spoil all the creatures, but it's such a good not horror movie, analog horror.
Yeah.
Like easily one of my favorites.
Yeah. I know like a lot of the mainstream ones would be like Vita Carnis or like Gemini Home Entertainments. Because
Yeah.
those are like I believe it is Vita Carnis that's shown in this way. Almost the entire series is shown in like documentary footage, kind of describing the different monsters basically. It's like a public like service and like announcement. You know what I mean? Like public safety announcement, PSA.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of it is in that format.
Hmm. Yeah, that's probably my favorite kind of format, though.
Yeah, I mean it's the most convenient for sure. It's telling you flat out like what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, but then so. the work of let's say like woodlands to convey. So like some of that could be like found footage in a way. And our next thing is
Yeah.
actually found footage. This is like like historically this is like the most analog you can get here really. This is
Yeah.
like old found tapes, like
The
old an
start
old
of analog horror, I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah, it's like old found like analog tapes, like old camcorders. And yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of this is like so the back rooms, that's a that's a really mainstream one right there.
Yeah. I'd say the father of analog horror would be the Backrooms.
Yeah, I believe it was
It's
like one of the most popular like analog horror
yeah.
series right there is the back rooms.
I think it's either I think the top three that come to mind for like the start or like kickstart of analog horror would be Walton Files, Mandela Catalog, and Backrooms.
All
Those
right.
are like I feel like the jump start to analog horror.
Yeah, I do believe Local 58 was kind of like the start in the AES like broadcast stuff.
Yeah, but like it's a very like little known.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Local
It's
58 is
very
a very
little known,
small
yeah. Yeah, it should have gotten more like
fraction.
for all the effort like put into it and like you know what I mean? It should have gotten
Yeah,
more exposure to the
yeah,
audience. And then yes, yeah, found footage. So you have the back rooms. And that's like people finding I know like the first episode that this guy he gets sent to back rooms and then he escapes. Well, he doesn't escape, but his camera escapes. And so you're basically watching the found footage that he recorded before um he failed to
here,
escape. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And another one is Winter of '38, which actually it's not a series, it's actually a movie. You know, 'cause it's very long. I think it's like over an hour.
Okay,
And it is a collection of like found like footage, like tapes and like actual like recordings. And they slowly piece together this whole story of
yeah,
basically I don't think spoilers matter that much here because I mean you're watching a whole like video on analog horror already, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
basically, it slowly pieces together. It starts at the beginning that this town went missing, right? Like they all disappeared.
yeah,
And then slowly, you kind of watch the town disappear over this old footage that was found in the town. People were like, searching for the people. And
yeah.
it slowly, pieces itself together that I think it was snow monsters somewhat. Because I know in a lab, some of the footage, some like a lab, right, near the city, this town
Yeah,
was. And as more of the footage revealed, it was revealed that what actually happened was this like small organism got into the snow and started clothing itself using like it would like take people and like mimic them and then use that to kill their people basically. Pretty like
that's-
niche story, like very like people will hear about this analog story, but it is pretty interesting. If you're looking for like a longer watch, I would recommend that one.
yeah. Uh, I guess our last I guess not topic section of analog horror we have
Yeah.
here is movie horror stories series whatever based on popular shows or movies. Like I know there's a few Jurassic Park analog horror ones which are pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, those are really scary. Like
Yeah, I've seen a. Here, go ahead. Sorry.
I never thought like a dinosaur would be like that scary, but like watching those, it really like can be like dinosaurs like can be actually like quite scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know I've seen a few of them on things like what is the game called on the PSVR where
Um,
the Dreams I think is what it's called.
Dreams, yes, yes,
There's a bunch of really good Jurassic World Park horror movies on there that
yeah.
you can do. Yeah, not much to say
Um,
about it. It's just analog based off of
yeah,
movies.
it's based off of like like popular content, movies, maybe like a series or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All right. Well, I believe that would wrap up our first segment here. So yes, yeah, so many series, so to watch, so little time, unfortunately. Like
yeah.
how many series do you reckon there are at this point? Just like on YouTube.
I'd say a couple hundred, maybe 1,000.
Yeah, like it it's growing like rapidly, like exponentially at this rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I believe we should try. It's time for our transition to the next topic. Release the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Video games and analog horror.
Yep, yep.
While analog horror may be based in watchable media, it can also be found in video games. Quite a few games have been made to mimic the analog horror experience or offer from a new perspective. Also, some analog horror series have released video games to add to their experience, to, kind of like deepen the lore, like a whole new perspective on things. Before we begin, let's go downstairs so we can properly showcase some of these experiences.
All right. The lights, please. Awesome.
All right, let's get started. So,
Uh,
I got a list here of analog horror games. The first
all
one
right.
I want to mention here is Lethal Omen, and this one is actually interesting because it is an official installment in a Gemini Home Entertainment series, which is like an actual series on YouTube of analog horror like videos. And so
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that they have like an official game that actually works like with their lore and like the plot that they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, in it you explore a campground that serves a vital role in the main series, basically, and
Okay.
you get to see some like new things, from a whole new perspective. You know what I mean? It's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, Lethal Omen. It's also the add to the analog feeling. It also has like the same feeling as like an '80s horror game. It's sort of like polygonal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Fierce to
Oh,
Fathom. That's another one I have on this list here. And so this one, I think you probably have heard of this one, but this one's actually really big. This is a horror game that takes place in the '80s, like '90s kind of era, and it features like a lot of like analog aesthetics, mainly like the screen having like a VHS filter on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Have you
That's
heard
a
of the
big one with all the
series?
analog ones. I have not heard of Fears of Fathom. I haven't heard of a lot of ones on our list, being honest.
Yeah.
I've seen a bit of them, but not that many.
Yeah, it was yeah, Fierce with that, and then that one's actually pretty popular. I believe a lot of people played it. The most recent one that came out was it was what do you call it? It was a Watchtower.
Oh yeah, that one. I know that one.
So you
I
did
like
see
that
it.
one. I watched. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forget names of titles sometimes. Yes, I really liked that one. That one was cool. I'm trying to think. What's that one Roblox game that me and you played? The
Which one?
Mineshaft one.
The Mine Shafts? Oh,
Yeah,
it is Murder Mine. Yeah,
Murder
Murder
Mine.
Mine.
That one.
Yeah.
That's a cool game.
Yeah, that one a lot of the same like as Figures of Fathom. It takes place during like the '80s and '90s. A lot of the same aesthetics going on. VHS filter on the screen. I know
Yeah.
a lot of games are like horror games are out like that. Like there's another one. It's not that big, but what is it? I think it's like Don't Come to the House, Don't Go in the House, something like that.
I cannot say I've heard of it.
Yeah, that one's very similar to the last two. Takes place, in the '80s, like analog media, like old video game type stuff.
Yeah.
Um, there's Assessment Examination, which is it's a point and click experience that has you in like, the Mandela County like universe, trying to distinguish altered from people. That one's pretty interesting. It's not like an official part of the game. It's more like inspired
Yeah.
from it, but it's pretty
That,
interesting.
that reminds me of games like I'm on observation duty.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Yeah, I like this series. I don't remember who I watched that played it. Um, I will say I think it was a third or fourth game they did where it was a first person one and you're walking around the house trying to find the anomalies.
Ooh, that sounds pretty nice.
It was cool, yeah. It's just sadly the guy I was watching was kind of dumb. I'm not gonna call him out by name. I just remembered who it was. but he's kind of dumb, and like I sat this man, I watched an event happen right in front of him. Like I saw like I'm pretty sure it was like a table flipping over or something, and he
Yeah,
completely ignored it.
yeah.
And like I sometimes you just watch like a YouTuber or something, and you just like want to strangle him through the screen. Not literally, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, Let me see what's next on my list here. Another one, Discover the Ocean. Have you heard of this one?
I think so.
This one's kind of recent. Like, I know I saw a YouTuber play it about a year ago. In this one, so you're moving around in like an underwater exploration drone. And so what you do is you look up, like approach points, and you get and as you hit these points, you get like short like analog like videos. You know what I mean? Like playing
Yeah,
on like a monitor inside of your submarine. And
that's
so
cool.
yeah, so like the further you go, the more like cryptic the videos get, and like more darker like your surroundings become. You know what I mean? So it kind of like
Yeah,
slowly devolves. That one's pretty interesting
like
because you were saying.
I say it reminds me of Iron Lung.
Yeah, actually very similar to Iron Lung.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe Discover the Ocean is actually pretty interesting because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like there's an analog horror like in the corner of your screen, and it's also like a whole like video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting like fusion between the both. It's like video and also like game. And you mentioned Iron Lung. I'm not really sure if it's like
Ye
an analog horror video game in a way, but it is pretty
I don't
interesting.
know.
Yeah, I know a lot
Yeah,
of
I know
people.
Markiplier's doing. Yeah, I know Markiplier's doing a movie on it.
Yeah, he's doing a whole movie in that one. That'd be pretty interesting when it comes out.
Yeah. Did I say movie or video game?
I think it's a movie, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here going insane. Sorry. Um, but yeah, Iron Lung. I'm hyped for the Iron Lung movie.
Yeah,
I know he is taking a break from YouTube because of the movie.
yeah. I mean, like, isn't he like basically like single-handed like carrying the whole project?
I think he's had a bit of help, but not a lot. But bro has a lot of projects and things he needs to upkeep.
Yeah.
Some of them we won't talk about that he made a while ago. Bro should probably just drop.
Actually, this is not on my list, but it actually reminded me of something. Uh, One thing that like video games like the analog horror, there's a like so we mentioned backrooms earlier. There's a massive amount of backrooms games, and
Oh
like a
yeah.
ton of different platforms as well. Like there's Roblox, there's Roblox backrooms. There's like Minecraft backrooms maps. There's like on Steam you can find backrooms inspired games and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember. I think you were there in the Twitch chat. Me and a few friends streamed us playing a backrooms horror game, and I got really mad.
What happens?
Uh,
I don't really remember.
basic basically we were in like a sewer level, and there were a bunch of rats and like water creatures and shit.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find parts in the water, and we had like a little metal scanner, like a metal detector,
Yeah.
and we had to run it across the water. But the thing is, whenever you had it on, it attracted all of the creatures. So I was constantly being hunted, and I died at least like 100 times trying to
Wow.
find this part, just for it to be out right outside of the room we spawn in.
Hmm.
I was getting picked on by my friends too the entire time because they had already found their parts.
Man. Yeah, there's a lot of like analog like sorry, not analog, but like backroom games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like didn't we play one on Roblox?
I know we've played a few on Roblox.
Yeah.
There's a few real ones, there's a few goofy ones, like Shrek in the Backrooms is a goofy one.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I remember I actually got jump scared in that game one time. Just because I was like goofing off and you don't expect it and you
Yeah,
see
you
I think it
never
was like
expect it to happen and it just
I'm
happens.
pretty sure it was yeah, pretty sure it was Donkey that jump scared me. I was not expecting to see a donkey behind me.
Yeah, the
It was
analog
funny
horror
though.
video games are pretty interesting. They're, they vary widely in quality. You never really know what you're gonna get, but they're always pretty interesting. Let
Yeah.
me see. Well, I think that's about it for our list of like analog horror like video games, unless you could think of some.
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
All right. Well, if you fail to mention one, please excuse us as our editors are only paid a quarter of the blue in a week.
Ah, yes. You mind turning off the lights?
Yep.
All right.
And what happened up here?
Yo, it's heroin.